Alright, in this video I'm going to be making a pot roast. Starting out with about 3.5 pounds of this chuck pot roast cut here. Got some fingerling potatoes, regular potatoes, garlic, red onions, beef stock, and some mushrooms. First thing I'm going to do is take this meat out of here and season this. And then we're going to sear the sides of it in the Instapot. Alright. These mushrooms rinsed off. I'm going to do the potatoes now. Slice up one red onion. Could do two. Just happen to have one on hand already. Whew, that's intense. Keep these pieces pretty large. Those carrots on top of the mix. Throw in a full-size potato in here too. I'm gonna keep these pieces pretty large. Alright, didn't cut my finger off. We're doing pretty good so far. Can't go wrong with the fresh garlic though. Alright, remove most of this paper. These like tiny ass ones. I have no good strategy at peeling garlic. Alright, got this is one head of garlic. I'm gonna chop these ends off here and this will be good to go. I think I'm gonna do another head too. I'm gonna do a second head of garlic. This is the first head turned out pretty good, but I'm just gonna go nuts with the garlic. Here's our second head of garlic. 2 heads of garlic here. This is gonna be real nice. Kept these cloves whole because we're going to cut some holes in the meat and put these directly in so they cook internally with the meat. Gives the meat a real strong garlicky flavor. Threw the potatoes again and double checked them, look for any like nasty rotten looking spots, and if I found them, I cut them off. Like some of these red ones had some brown spots on them, so I cut those off. So, all right. Alright, gonna season this meat. Yeah, it's the 3.5 pounds about of this chuck roast. So I'm gonna take this out of here. And I got salt, pepper, some Cajun seasoning, a little bit of cinnamon, and I got some of that fresh rosemary that I grew this summer. It's a nice piece of meat there. Look at that. Alright. Got our Mediterranean sea salt here. Some fresh cracked pepper, Cajun seasoning salt, That's some of the rosemary I grew this summer. And I'm going to put a little dash of cinnamon, just a little bit, you know. Alright. It's getting this stuff everywhere. After we season this, I'm going to put that garlic in there. Get all the sides. Make a huge mess, just get this shit everywhere. Just a little bit of cinnamon. Just a little bit. Rosemary here. Do this myself. With the cinnamon, the salt, the pepper, some Cajun seasoning, and that fresh rosemary. Gonna use my paring knife to put some slices in here, some thin slices, to put this garlic into this piece of meat. Here's our garlic. Yeah, just nice slice down in there, and take your clove of garlic, stick that in there. I'm not gonna put too many in here because this really like packs it with like real intense garlic. So make sure you like garlic if you're doing this, because it's gonna make this meat popping with garlic. The rest of these garlic, I'll just put them in the roaster. Alright, now we're going to repeat this process on the other side. Flip the meat around, we season this side, we put some more rosemary on there. We're going to add some more of these garlic cloves and a little more rosemary. Just going to crumble this up. Right, I'll give you a close-up view of putting these garlic in here. So I'm going to put a pretty deep cut. Make sure it's wide enough because these heads are pretty large. Take our garlic clove, this is a large one, and put them in there. Alright, I'm going to repeat that process on this side in a few different spots. Remember, this makes the meat really garlicky, so if you are not the biggest fan of garlic, so you can skip this step. Also, when the garlic cooks down, it becomes less intense. It becomes the acidic, like the strong acidic flavor is lost. Like, so it's not that intense, you know. It's kind of like the garlic kind of sweetens up, you know. Right, here's a huge one. Just packing this garlic in here. All right, one more. There we go. So this meat's going to be infused with all this garlic. Infuse that garlic into there, put those cloves into that head. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to pan sear this thing in the Instapot. We're just going to use the saute function here. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pot, get this thing heated up, and we're going to sear this piece of meat on all the sides. Alright, Instapot started up, put a little bit of our cooking oil in there, and I turned it on saute mode. We're going to heat this up. Once this gets hot, we are going to sear that meat here. Alright, gotta sear this meat. It's got a brown each side here. It's a big piece of meat, so you have to do this a little bit at a time. Don't burn yourself here, kids. That's the seasonings in there. We're just trying to sear those sides. We're not trying to cook them, so it won't have to be on there that long. Not trying to cook it through to the core, you know. Alright, that's looking good there. And see if I can move this with some tongs. See that sear right there? That looks really good. Check that out. That looks awesome. Gives the meat color. Seals in the juices. Alright, we're going to let this side sear for about maybe like 30-45 seconds. You can smell that rosemary cooking up. It smells amazing. Alright. Got this other side seared now. I'm going to start working on these sides before I hit this top. Smells amazing too. Hit it with a little dash of more Creole seasoning here. A little more pepper. And even more rosemary. I'm going to flip this side now. And we're going to hit this final last side. Then once, I'm going to have to get these other parts here. Alright, give you a close-up view here of the sear. You see the rosemary and the garlic in there. I'm going to give this side another like 30 seconds and then I'll flip and hit this far end here. So, I mean, this is the 6-quart Instapot. I mean, it's pretty big, but it's not big enough really for this giant piece of meat, but we'll make it work. Alright, time to flip this again. This time we're hitting the last couple sides here. Yeah, smell that garlic roasting in there. It smells amazing. I'll throw a couple more pieces of garlic in here just to sear. Add some more flavor there. Even more rosemary. Alright, it's about time for another flip on this thing. One of those heads of garlic. Put it back in there. The sear looks really nice. It smells amazing. This sear is almost about done. I just gotta do one more side, and then after that we're gonna add the broth. We're gonna add 4 cups of broth, and then once we have the broth in there, we're gonna add the potatoes, the carrots, the onions, and the mushrooms. All right, this sear is about done. I'm gonna add the broth. Next step after that is to add the broth. We're gonna add 4 cups, which will be a full box of this stock here. Once we have the stock in, we will add the potatoes, the carrots, the onions, and the mushrooms. I'll also add the rest of this garlic. All right, this is about done. So, as you can see here, I've seared all the different sides of this piece of meat here, and we're going to change this to high pressure mode now. All right, this sear is done. I'm going to turn this off for a second. Whenever you turn this thing off. All right, there you go. I'm gonna add the broth. 4 cups. Here's our 4 cups of beef stock. Alright, got our beef stock in there. Add our garlic. Add our potatoes. And some carrots, some onions, mushrooms, just layer this all in here. This will cook down, and I almost got this amount just right. Usually might not want to fill this all the way to the top, but well, here we are. All right, got all of our ingredients in here. Really got all this in here, and got a little rosemary left, so I'll just throw that on top. All right, and now we're gonna seal this guy up, and we're gonna cook her. This will cook. They say you want about 20 minutes per pound of meat. It's 3.5 pounds, so that'll come out to like 70 minutes. So we're going to put this in there for 70 minutes, and we'll see how this turns out. Kind of excited. Alright, got this filled up to the top. Added the rest of our rosemary, and I'm gonna seal this up. This locks into here. Oh, it sings me a little song. Clicks into position. Pressure cook. High pressure, and we're gonna want this for 70 minutes. There you go, high pressure mode, 70 minutes. Here we go. It's about 30 minutes later, and the pot is finally built up enough pressure. Steam was flying out of here, and you can see these valves are pressed up. So it's pressurized now, and once it made it hit its high pressure mode, the clock started counting down. So It's been in there for about 30 minutes, but the timer just started, so uh, yeah, I'm not really sure, but I'm just gonna go with it, I guess. I'll wait till this 70 minutes is up. 37 minutes. All right, we got our final 4 minutes here. Once this time is over, we're going to let this vent. They said to let it sit for like 10 minutes while it vents. Yep, last 3 minutes. Here we go. Exciting. All right, the 70-minute timer just finished, so I'm gonna let this vent for 10 minutes. Hopefully this thing doesn't blow up like a bomb when I... Whew. Woo! Take it easy there, pressure bomb. All right, 10 minutes has gone by since the 70-minute timer, and this is our pressure valve here, the vent. Because I loaded this thing up so much, gotta let it cool down so the pressure reduces, you know. Boyle's law. More hotter the temperature, the more pressure you're gonna get here. More of those molecules inside are gonna expand. So just letting this cool down for now. Trying to release some of this pressure without burning my hand. There's a lot of pressure. They weren't joking. I opened this valve, threw a rag over it, so could release some pressure. As you can see the steam coming off there. Giving it some time. I'll give this like 10 minutes to release some of this pressure. Let the pressure, the steam come out of this vent for about 10 minutes. So you can see, switch it from the sealed to the pressure mode, but don't do that when it's pressurized because this will be a geyser of steam. I threw a cloth over that and definitely let it cool down. They were recommending you let it cool down at least 10 minutes. I had this thing packed so full. If you fucked up like that, I would recommend doing it for 30 minutes just because this thing had so much pressure built up. And that steam that comes out of there is going to be extremely hot. So use a nice rag or something so you don't get blasted with steam that's hotter than fire, basically. All right, this is ready to open. Here's the moment of truth. All right, here it is. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. This looks amazing. This is looking real nice. Still boiling, so I'm gonna let this cool down a bit before we dive in there. But yep, this is the pot roast. It's looking really good. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my most elaborate cooking projects to date. Multi-hour cooking time. All right, let's start to transfer some of this to our bowl here, and so we can get at this meat just buried beneath this ocean of broth and vegetables and potatoes. Smells great. Smells awesome. All right, I've made it to the meat. You can see the garlic in there. Yeah, this is falling apart. This looks amazing. Check this out. It's pulling apart. I'll pull some of this meat off of here. This is looking great. Alright, got into the meat, got some vegetables, pulled some meat off of there, gonna get some more broth, some more vegetables. It's looking awesome. It's really rich, savory broth. Grab another piece of meat here. Yeah, this looks awesome. All this cooking process wasn't too bad. I would just say I probably, if I did this again, I wouldn't have packed the pot so high. I think that caused some excess pressure, but this still looks amazing. So I'm going to dig into this, and thanks for watching. Check out some more of my cooking videos, maybe the travel videos. All right. Thanks again. All right. Good night. Oh, yeah. I got into this. This is awesome. So savory, garlicky. It's great. I'm real proud with how this turned out. It was worth the effort. I probably put about 2.5 hours into this, but it was worth it.